Hello, today's video we have the following content.
What does Wáng Yībó call people to do? As we know, every day and every hour in the world, we don't know how many fires occur, causing a lot of human and material damage. Sometimes I hear about a house fire here, a company fire over there, how many people died and how much money was lost. According to Chen Liman, deputy head of the Fujian Provincial Fire and Rescue Team, since the beginning of this year, as of October 31st, the whole province has had a total of 20,500 fires, causing 42 deaths and damage directly on property 232 million yuan. Compared to the same period last year, the number of incidents decreased by 3.3%, the number of deaths decreased by 12.5% and the number of direct property damages decreased by 18.2%. Although the fire and explosion situation is generally stable, the risk of fire and explosion in residential areas is still relatively prominent. Fatal fires frequently occur in these places, accounting for 85.7%, especially electrical fires such as short circuits and equipment damage are the main causes. The highest rate, accounting for 10% of the total number of fires, accounted for 41.8%. The rate of fires due to smoking and careless use of fire also reached 29.7%. Recently in the province, there have been many small fatal fire accidents. When the temperature drops, society's consumption of fire, gas, electricity, and oil will increase and the risk cannot be underestimated. Explosion. Chen Liman also called on the whole society to act together, starting with ourselves, starting every day, strictly managing power and fire sources, managing the parking and charging of electric bicycles, and using gas safely. Do not throw cigarette butts at and regularly carry out 3 checks, clean walkways, balconies, kitchens, and turn off fire sources, power sources, and air sources when away from people, equipment. Get yourself some firefighting equipment and escape masks to create a harmonious and stable fire safety environment. That's just one province, but around the world we don't know how many fires happen every day. Recently, as a public figure, Wáng Yībó called on everyone pay attention to fire and explosion prevention. This is definitely a responsible attitude towards social safety. After all, fire is cruel and we cannot take it lightly. Wáng Yībó's appeal also shows us his power and influence as a public figure. However, we should not just stop at complaining about why, but should also think, are we fully prepared for fire and explosion prevention? Do we, like Wáng Yībó, pay attention to fire prevention and respond to this call with action? First, we should understand the dangers of fire. Fire not only destroys property but also endangers life. Especially at night, when people are sleeping, fires are more likely to lead to tragedy. Therefore, understanding the dangers of fire and explosion is the basis for good prevention. Second, we should do a good job of fire and explosion prevention. For example, do not dispose of cigarette butts at home, avoid using flammable or explosive items, and regularly check wiring and electrical equipment. These seemingly insignificant details can play an important role at critical moments. Finally, we should also master how to deal with fire. When a fire breaks out, call the police as soon as possible and learn how to save yourself and each other. For example, use fire extinguishers, firefighting equipment and other equipment to put out fires, or use wet towels to cover your mouth and nose, bend down to escape, etc. In light of Wáng Yībó's call, we can also seriously consider whether our preventive measures are being applied or not. After all, only when we pay attention to fire prevention can we truly take precautions before they happen. In daily life, we should not only pay attention to gossip about celebrities but also pay attention to safety issues around us. Let's act together to respond to Wáng Yībó's call and do a good job of fire prevention. We urge everyone to take action to prevent fires and explosions so that everyone can always be safe.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please